Find the smallest positive integer n for which the expansion of xy minus 3x plus 7y minus 21 to the power n after like terms have been collected as at least 1996 terms. So all the meaning of this after like has been corrected means
all the terms with the similar variable term but different coefficient that have been added together.
yes, like x square, all the x square corrected, all the
Yes.
xy collected and so on. Okay. See, for expansion, in our syllabus, we know up to trinomial or maybe polynomial we also know, but can we not, like polynomial means I mean to say multinomial, not polynomial, actually the correct word. So multinomial, you know, but is it possible to write in this thing as a two different binomials? If it is possible, our work will be a little bit easier. So either you can think that, okay, I am going to take these two together and these two together, but it's not a smart way. Can we also think this thing? Like see here, very actually in the structure where they have given this thing, you can take this x common from here and y common from here. Sorry, 7 common from here. So what we get it here is x times y minus 3 plus 7 times and the whole power n. So we get what?
X plus 7 into y minus 3 to the power of n.
So I can write x plus 7 to the power n and y minus 3 to the power n.
Yes, sir.
Now you know that in this expansion, how many terms will have? N plus 1. No? In first expansion, I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
In this first
expansion n plus 1 and second expansion n plus 1.
Yeah, n plus 1 terms. And here also I have n plus 1 terms.
Yes, sir.
Now the question says that after collecting all the like terms, so first we have to ask ourselves, is there such like terms are going to happen in this
Only
expansion?
one might be possible, sir.
Sorry?
Only one like term will be possible, sir.
Which one?
The multiplication of the constant parts.
Constant part. Like term,
Yes,
how do
sir.
we get? No. How do we get like term? Constant part. Here we get the constant part 7 to the power n. Here we get minus 3 to the power n. Correct? And then you multiply, the constant will be multiplied to constant only one time. Because x and y are different variables and 7 and 3 are different integers.
Yes, sir.
Like term happens when there is also some x, there is also some x. So some cancellation happens, some degree will be same. The like term only happens when we have the similar, sorry?
No like terms will be possible.
Yes, no like terms will be possible. If you want to see, like we can simply see by taking n is equal to 1. If you take n is equal to 1 or maximum you can take n is equal to 2 and see. So x plus, let's say 7 the whole square and y minus 3 the whole square. So this will give you x squared plus 14x plus 49. And
Yes,
the
sir.
second term, if you expand up this thing, y squared
Y square minus 6y plus 9.
Now you see which like term will achieve.
No, sir.
We can't achieve the like terms. And this story goes for y this degree 3 or degree 4 or degree up to n. It means how many terms we exactly get after expansion. Number of terms. You see, if there is no like term, then no collection will happen. So each in this expansion, you see, each term is multiplied with the 3 terms.
So
Again,
we'll
this
get n to the power of n.
no. Think again. First focus on this. Each term is multiplied with these 3 terms. Again, this term multiplied with these 3 terms. So what we get? From
6.
Here, 6 okay. How come 6 we are getting? Please see.
For those 2 terms alone, sir. For the whole thing, we'll get 9 terms, sir.
Yes, 9. Yes. So what I'm saying that for whole
So n
expansion,
square, sir.
N square. Tell me again.
Yes, sir. N square number of terms we'll get, sir.
No. Here you see. What is the degree here? Means power here.
2, sir.
If the power is 2, expansion gives you 3 numbers.
Yes, sir.
If the expansion gives you 3 number, then the total number of terms will be 9.
Yes,
3
sir.
square.
I took the number of terms as n, sir. So n plus 1 square, sir. If
Very
the
good.
power of the
Yes.
equation is n.
Yes. So n plus 1 square is the total number of terms. Now it's easy. They are saying that has at least 1996. It means I can say directly n plus 1 the whole square must be greater than 1996.
Yes, sir.
Now do the calculation. 1986 is a perfect square or what?
44 maybe, sir.
Huh?
Maybe it will be
No.
something like 44.
No. I think we have to substitute the value and check. I don't think 44 square is 1996 because it will become 20 now. So 44 square is what? 16. This 1936 we are getting. So 1936 is like 44. So 44 in this is greater than 44, correct? So we
Yes,
are still greater actually. So we have to take one more perhaps. What
so
about 45? Will exceed, correct?
Yes, sir.
It means n. Yeah. So n plus 1 should be greater than equal to
45.
Therefore, n value is greater than equal to
44.
44. What they are asking? Smallest yeah. So smallest
Yes,
positive integer is 44. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any idea are you getting?
Sir.
Okay. If I give you some hint, then you can try. So there's one inequality which is rarely used, but let's try by that way. Then I'm thinking what to do if you don't know the inequality. So summation, I think it's a AK. 2, let's say 2, so these are there. So AK, I think, wait, what was that? Summation of that one and BK square. K goes from 1 to n. Square root is always lesser than square root of summation K AK. K goes from 1 to n square plus summation K goes from 1 to n K square. I think it's correct. Oh no, wait. if I take this any number, like suppose I'm taking 1, 2, 2. So I think, okay, right hand side should be greater. Suppose I'm taking, let's say k is equal to, this series is 1, like AP, any series you can take. And so I think this will help. This inequality, what we call a forward Monkowski or something inequality. So let's try this way, and then I'm also thinking what to do if I suppose we don't know this inequality, then how we can think this question. Okay, so can you try this by using what I'm suggesting, that this 2k minus 1 we can assume as ak,
Yes, sir.
and ak is, I'm assuming, is bk, correct? So what we do,
Yes,
we
sir.
simply find it out. So automatically we are finding the Sn. This is the Sn actually. And so automatically we are finding the minimum value of the Sn, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How can we think if we don't know the inequality? Let's try. Then actually I'm thinking I will explain to you. So in this inequality, what you see, the Cornish, 1 minute, you understood that this summation was when outside, it was difficult to take the summation inside, means find the sum. But inequality simply shifted the summation inside, it's easy to find each term sum.
Yes, sir.
And this is nothing but you are doing this thing, what? The odd numbers squared. You are adding the odd numbers squared. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so by the way, any way you can try this. I mean, here 2k minus 1. Please understand, this is 2k minus 1 only. So here not like you are taking the square and adding. It's not like 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square. You are adding
1 plus
first,
3 plus 5 whole
yes.
square.
And you know that the sum of all the odd numbers up to n is n square. No?
Yes, sir.
1 plus 3 is 4. You are taking two
Yes, sir.
terms. So 2 square. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. So 3 square and so on. So I think it's not difficult now. So if this is going to be, if I take this part only, that will become summation. This one give you n
N
square.
square plus 17 square.
I think n square, na?
Yes, sir. N square squared plus 17 square.
17 square. And so that's why they're given that positive sum to 17 square. I think why, okay. They all are copying the question. I think they've solved this question to one to students. I don't know when, but I have some like a little bit memory that I've solved this. But anyway, that will give you a to the power 4. When I solved, I don't know. And I think this question is also from some AMI or something, where they were asking. I don't know why they are not constructing their own problem. These all institutions have this problem. Whenever GTA comes, the no standard questions I must be find. I have also created some questions, but those are my own. In order to make the paper harder, they are taking the questions which are a little bit out of context sometimes. IIT has no such syllabus, I know. But still, especially the probability and the combinatorics questions, they are taking from outside only. Only calculus they are creating, or algebra. So what you got, Cornish, now? This is a little bit tough again now. Okay, so we are, I think, entering in the number theory. So let's see what is going. This is Sn is greater than equal to square root of n to the power 4 plus 289. What they're asking, if there exists a unique positive integer n for Sn is also an integer. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, minimum value sum. So this is only Sn, I think. I should not say Sn greater than, because minimum value this only. So Sn denotes the minimum value of the sum. So I should not write this Sn. I misread the question. Sn denotes the minimum value of the sum, and minimum value of the sum is this quantity. So that is represented by Sn, or that is denoted by Sn. So now this value is a perfect square.
Yes, sir.
If this value is a perfect, what they're asking? I mean, not this value, means this value. Then only Sn will be integer.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So I can say this way. Sn is this, so this value will be perfect square. So I'm writing Sn here. So can I say, if this is a perfect square, then Sn is an integer. Let's say, let Sn in that case is a sum number m. Correct?
Yes.
So can I write that m square is equal to n to the power 4 minus 289? Sorry, plus 289.
Yes, sir.
And so I can write m square minus n to the power 4 is equal to 289. Now you notice one important thing, that this can be written as a factor of two terms, m plus n square.
M plus n square into m minus n square.
Yes. So what we write? M plus n squared into m minus n squared is equal to 289. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And this 289 is nothing but 17 into 17.
Yes, sir.
Or it
So
can
m
be,
plus n square is equal to m minus n square.
no wait, yeah, that is also correct way. But I can write this one also. And also I can write 1 into 289. These are the possible cases, no? Is there any other possible case I can write this way? Because when it is getting this prime number square, we cannot break it down again into two pieces.
Yes, sir.
So these are the three possible cases we have only. It means I can take m plus n square is equal to m minus n square. That's this first thing you said. So m plus n square is equal to m minus n square. So that will give you n is equal to 0.
Yes, sir. So m will be 17.
So m will be 17.
But this isn't valid since I've given that n is a positive integer.
Exactly. Very good. Very good. N is a positive integer. So since n is greater than 0 in integer, so this is not the possible case we can consider.
Yes, sir.
So this is invalid. Now we go for the other case. So what I'm assuming this, because I'm
M
thinking
plus n
that,
square is 289.
yes, because m minus n square is a like a what we call is a natural
Less
way to
than m
think that
plus n
lesser
square.
than that. Very good, very good. Yeah, you are synchronizing with my thought. Very good. So I can write m plus n square is equal to 289 and m minus n square is equal to 1. So can you find it out? Now there are two equations and two variables, so it's not difficult. We can add this, so it'll give it 2m is equal to 290.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So m is equal to how much? 145. Yes, 145.
145, sir.
If m is equal to 145,
N is equal to 12.
Very good. Wow. N is equal to 12. And I need positive integers only. Can we also
Yes.
do this thing? I don't think so. Let's try if it's
No.
possible. No. M plus n square, suppose I'm taking 1. Let's try. I have no idea. M plus 1 n square is to this thing. And then m minus n square I'm taking as 289. If I add them again, we get 2m.
2m is equal to 290.
2m is equal to
290.
290. So m is equal to 145.
Yes.
M is equal to 145. If you substitute anywhere, here what we get?
We
Again?
get n square as a negative number, so it will be
Exactly.
complex.
Yes. So we got this thing that n is equal to 12. Or what I have to find? Oh, the also an integer, then n by 2 is 6, I think, correct?
Yes.
12 by 2, that's 6. Good. Very good. But my thinking was this, that how do we know that, suppose we don't know this inequality. If you know the inequality, that will be like a super saver, or it will save our life. But how do we, in this tough situation, we get to know this inequality? Because, but not that much natural to think this inequality any chance. So can we think in a different way, Ganesh? What does this represent? What I'm guessing, let's try to think in that direction. So what you can see it's actually representing. Suppose I'm saying that 2k minus 1 the whole square plus ak square. What we can think of this? Ganesh,
So,
should I give the hint? I think your video is not visible. What you have done?
it's saying VIDA is disabled to improve audio until network bandwidth increases.
Okay. All right. So what we can think, Karunesh, in the direction, if I give you the hint, can you just tell me this root over, suppose I'm asking root over a square plus b square, what does it represent? In algebra also it is something, in vector also it is something, in even if you take the coordinate geometry, is also representing something. Okay, so let me just rephrase it. Let me just take this question down and then we will think again. So I'm taking this fresh one and then I'm trying to convey this. Okay, so if I ask you this thing, have you seen this kind of a structure anywhere? X square plus y square.
Yes, sir. Distance from the side.
Distance. In vector, what it represents? The magnitude.
Of the matrix.
Magnitude. In the complex number, it represents the magnitude.
Yes, sir.
Right. So complex number we don't go, where I think we can think the geometry or maybe the vector. Can we think like this? What we are actually doing, suppose I'm taking the first vector, let us say, and let's say AK, not AK, the VK. The VK represents a vector like this, 2k minus 1 I cap and AK j cap. Can you write like this?
Yes, sir.
So what does magnitude of VK represent?
2k minus 1 whole square plus ak whole square.
So don't you think we got this thing?
Yes, sir.
So what we are doing, if we just put the summation there, what we get? This same quantity you get.
Yes, sir.
Let's say I'm actually drawing a polygon, let's say, not a regular one, and then trying to convince. So Suppose I have this one vector here. Not vector, let's say the distance m1. This is another, and this is another one.
Yes.
And this is connected. So what the sum is actually is representing. This sum is what? If you take this vector actually, so the magnitude of vector is this length, correct?
Yes, sir.
Again, magnitude of this vector is this length, and magnitude of vector is this length. So you added all this sum. But basically,
Yes.
what you added, try to think. You added, this was the x component of the vector, and this was the y component. 2k might become x component as 3. This is the x component as 3, and this is a2, and this is 2, 3 just 6 minus 1, 5, and this is a3. Now,
Yes.
this is the length of all these things, correct?
Yes, sir.
And they asked that all the red sides should be equal. Means not equal. The sum of all the red path, this lengths are equals. Means that, let's say I'm calling L1 plus L2 plus L3 must be not equal, minimum. L1
Yes.
plus L2 plus L3 should be minimum. I'm taking 3, but I can extend up to
In
n. Now tell me, how do we arrange it so that it will become minimum? Why not? We can arrange them like they all are on the same straight line.
yes, sir. That also.
Hmm? So in that case, what will be the total horizontal distance we get?
L1 plus L2 plus L3, sir.
Not horizontal. What I mean to say, that suppose some inclination is there. I'm not saying the horizontal means, that in this way can we not arrange one stacking each other.
Yes, sir.
So if you arrange in this way, it means what we are doing then. Then what will happen, you see, in that case what will happen, that all these horizontal distances will be collected together. Correct? So this will
Yes,
become
sir.
1 here, then this was what? 3, sorry, 3. 1
3,
here,
5.
3 here, and then 5. And all the vertical distances will be collected together. A1,
Yes.
A2, A3, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then I had to say that the sum of these distances should be minimum. So when it is minimum, then we stack in that way. So what we are getting there? The 1 plus 3 plus 5, the whole square, plus this A1 plus A2 plus A3, the whole square, the root. It means this will be the minimum value.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So I actually tried to think, but I have to polish this thing to present if I have to present in the class. Anyway, so I think we understood this thing. Anyway, okay, let's.
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's move to the next question. Let Px be a polynomial non-constant polynomial. So they say that we can't take the Px as constant. So that x minus 2010 p times x plus 67 is equal to xpx, and alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n are roots of px is equal to 0. I'm just paraphrasing the question because I can't write the long thing. And also alpha 1 is lesser than alpha 2 dot 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 lesser than dot, means in this sequence all that things I gave it. They're asking that one thing is the b value is the average of all these roots, means alpha n, not average, sorry, this sum by 2010 they're asking. And c they're asking that the alpha 1 into alpha n by 1005 into 67. So we have to find out B and C. Especially they have given the like matrix match question, but is not required. In matrix
Yes,
match,
sir.
all each column has something means on the basis of B, N, and or alpha 1 and all these things. Okay. So basically to find out alpha 1 means all the roots and the n value means how many roots are there. After that everything can be done. Okay. So let's think. Let's start the solution here. You understood the question?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Very good. Let me make this size smaller. So what this is, you can see, is one very simple thing we can observe, that when you substitute x equal to 0, what we are getting. Because every time we do this thing, that whenever this kind of identity given in the polynomial form or the function form, we do the same thing, like we put x equal to 0 and start with this. So put x
Yes,
equal to
sir.
0, so this will give you negative
Minus
2010.
2010 P of 67 is equal to 0.
So what does it mean that actually?
P of 67 is the root of the polynomial.
Exactly. Means one root we identify that 67 is one of the root. Means I don't know which one, with alpha 1 or alpha 2, it will decide it. Now also you notice that if I substitute again x is equal to, let's say I iterate the process here, because there is a x67, so I can use this fact that p67 is going to be 0. Are you observing this thing?
Yes, sir.
Means how do we come to know that again I have to substitute 67? So because I got this p67 0, so I'm using this fact here, that if I substitute p67, that is giving you 0, so it will make something better. So again I'm substituting 67, and that will give you negative of what, 67 minus, no,
Yes.
yeah, 2010. So whatever value will come, we'll see it, but they'll give you 134 now. 134 now, 67 into 2. Yes, 134 is equal to 67 into p67.
Yes, sir.
But we already found that p67 is 0, so again this will give 0. It means what you achieve then? P134 is 0, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So the one root we got 64, the other root we got 134. Can we iterate the process for again? Because now we know that 134 is 0. So again I can substitute 134 there.
Yes, sir.
And once you substitute 134, again this x plus 67 will produce the number which is 67 unit ahead from 134.
Yes, sir.
It means the first term we are getting as 64, second root I'm getting 134, third term 67 more, and it is the series of 67, means the AP, whose first term is 67, the common difference is also 67.
Yes, sir.
Or the multiple of 67. Correct? But the problem is, where do we stop? So to stop you, think one thing, that is also inviting to tell that when we substitute here x equals to 2010, see what will happen in this entire equation. It will become P 2010 is equal to 0. Yes or no?
2010 P 2010, no sir.
Huh?
Okay sir, P 2010. No.
Yes, because this side will become 2000 P 2010, na? And this is 2010. This is 0 already. So
Yes, sir.
0 by this, correct? Yes. So what do you observe then? That 2010 is the maximum value of the root. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why so? Because this 2010, after you want to make this iteration, it is not possible to iterate.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because this P 2010 is achieved not from the previous number, but exactly at 2010. So suppose you try that we want to put 2067 plus 2000, so it will become 2077 if you want to try. If you substitute 2077, where do you get 0 from? We cannot get 0 from anywhere. So 2010 is the last root.
Sir.
Yes. Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
So the alpha 1 we got as 67 and alpha n we got 2010, and this multiple of 67 only. So all that you have to divide 2010 by 67 to get
Yes,
the n value. So n is what? 2010 by 67, and I think is 30 will come over. I think n is 30 and alpha 1 is 67. After that, whatever we have to find, we can do it. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we can end the session here. You can take
Yes,
the
sir.
notes, complete it.